Hey everybody, welcome back to JT Channel and welcome to a channel update. You know how these things go. I'm going to talk about what I've been doing and what I'm going to do hopefully here in the future. Maybe some life updates throughout it. And then, what happened to some of the things I promised, etc, etc. So first things first, obviously, hang on. Sorry, that was one of my daughter's toys just kind of going off by itself. Anyway, the first thing that I'm going to start off with is kind of obvious. I should start off with, and that's Balatro. I've got pieces of my dog's toy underneath me. This is a great start to my video. But I have to talk about Balatro because I know I've been playing it a lot. I've gotten three full videos. 2 full videos, 1 ending video, and 2 shorts on it. And I only have like 1 view per actual video, and then like, 20, 30 views per short. Shorts always get more views than the actual videos do. And I'm not saying that's going to stop me from playing it on the channel, but I do understand it's just a card game. I mean, it's more than that to me personally and to the people that like the game like I do. It's, you got all these extras with the tarot cards, the planet cards, the spectral cards that mostly suck, and the jokers, of course. But I'm still playing it pretty consistently. It's genuinely part of my morning routine. I just played it a little bit before making this video. For those of you who haven't seen it, I definitely recommend checking it out. I was going to say seriously, but definitely recommend checking it out. If for no other reason to kind of get the concept of the game, and then watch my most recent video that I released earlier today, where I won a run, which isn't beating the game by a long shot, but it's a big deal. So as far as Balatro on the channel, maybe more, maybe not. I can understand why it might grind onto some people. It's like you're just doing the same thing over and over again, trying to beat this, whatever. But no run is ever the same, no matter how hard you try. I just did a run where I got to the very last round, to the Crimson Heart, the last boss, and I lost. And I thought I was going to do really good, but that last boss deactivates 1 joker per hand. And all of my jokers were either polychrome, holographic, or foil. So there was always extra chips and multipliers. So having 1 debuffed for a hand really messed with my hand. So anyway, the point is, I still play that game a lot. It's still part of my morning routine. I play it every morning. I play it whenever we're not doing anything. If my wife is busy and she's like, do whatever you want, I'm playing Balatro, okay? So for me personally, I'm still going to play a shit ton of it by myself. But as far as bringing back to the channel, maybe once in a while, I thought about doing it for live streams. I thought that would be fun. If I start doing live streams on the channel, like you guys can, if I want to chat with you guys, maybe I'll be playing Balatro on the side so that, you guys can see how that goes. The video has a title, and I'm going to go in the order of the title first. So that was Balatro. Now we're going to talk about No Man's Sky. I really appreciate everybody watching me play No Man's Sky. The game is definitely just as good as I remember it. Maybe even more fun than I thought. I remember the first time I played it. I was renaming every little thing. I was naming every animal, every plant, every planet. I never got this far in the original game, but that's because that's what I would do. I get to a planet, name the planet, name every single plant, because it gives you a name, but you can rename everything. That's the whole point of the game. You can explore the galaxy and make it your own. But I've definitely had a lot of fun playing it. I've obviously taken a break. We had MAW on Sunday, and I'm playing, like I said, just a royal frick ton, let's say, of Balatro. But I am going to get back to it. It is, again, it's the most fun I've had in a long time, where it's just fun. I don't really get frustrated with it. I said Balatro and No Man's Sky were the 2 games I can't get frustrated with. No Man's Sky is the only game I don't get frustrated with. It's always fun, And if I do run into something I think I can't handle, it's usually pretty easy to either A, figure it out, or B, get out of it. Like, for example, when I first ran into pirates out in space pirates, I could just run. I could just go. I just make my thrusters were working. I could run away and escape, and it was all good. So I'm going to get back to that real soon. Today, of course, I did the short Balatro video. I've said that. Somebody count how many times I say that stupid game's name in this video. But I did that video this morning. I actually recorded that video just after 8 a.m. and accidentally set it to private. So it released a few hours later when I realized it was still on private. I'm like, no views. I should at least have 1 view. So this video will come out later the same day, obviously. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this. But there won't be any more videos today. I did 2 videos today. and then I'll get back to No Man's Sky. Of course, the next thing on the list is Doom Eternal. As I mentioned back in December, we got, or was it November? Either way, we got PlayStation Premium. And when we had PlayStation Premium, we downloaded a bunch of games. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Star Wars, the original trilogy. Or not the original trilogy, the original saga, 1 through 6. And then we downloaded Mortal Kombat 11 and Doom Eternal. All these games are downloaded on my PlayStation. But I cannot play them unless I have Premium active, and it deactivated earlier this month. So I don't, at the moment, have it, but the games are there, including Doom Eternal. So, sorry, I got distracted trying to see what my daughter's doing. Point is, I have Doom Eternal, but I can't play it until I get PlayStation Premium back. And PlayStation Premium isn't the cheapest subscription to have every month, but we're monitoring our subscriptions, and we're picking which ones we need to keep and which ones we don't. I mean, 2 or 3 of them we don't even pay for. They're like, shh. But in all reality, I do see me getting it back, hopefully by February. I hate saying that, but January is the slowest month for my job, moving company, here in Tennessee anyway, because it's the colder of the 3 winter months. December is usually like half warm, and then January is the one where we usually get snowstorms and the weather actually drops, and then February is like December. It's like the first half is chilly, and then spring starts early. So hopefully by next month, I will have the money and the opportunity to get the PlayStation Premium subscription back, which we had the highest one. We had the most expensive one, and I'll be able to play Doom Eternal. I'm obviously very excited about that, and I think Doom the Dark Ages is supposed to drop this year, so it'll be interesting to see if I can beat Eternal before the Dark Ages and then play the Dark Ages all this year, but we'll see. It took me, I can't remember how many videos are in that. It's like 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12. I don't know how many videos are in that Doom playlist, but it took me a while to beat Doom. Better part of a year, honestly, to beat Doom 2016. And I had already played that game before. Doom Eternal's a whole, she just said hi. Doom Eternal's a whole new game as far as I know. Controls are probably the same, but I don't know what new demons are going to be there, other than the ones you can see in like the original trailers and stuff. I know you get a sword finally. I'm babbling, but point is, when I get to Doom Eternal, it's going to be a new experience, which I think is going to be great. I'm so excited to try that game. As far as other things coming to the channel, it all kind of depends on what catches my eye, I guess, or tickles my fancy. Because I don't really know. I'm really big into first-person shooters. They're like my favorite game types. And some adventure games are pretty cool, puzzle games, stuff like that. And, of course, horror. I plan on, she's showing off my necklace. Horror games are obviously one of my biggest things. There's a few cheaper horror games, like less than $5 horror games on the PlayStation Store, that she is very chatty. I'm sorry if you guys, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm trying not to shout over Brooklyn. But there's an Anomaly game that I want to play. There's one called Cursed Feed that looked really cool. It was a lot like Death Motel, where the gameplay looked really good, and then some of the like jump scares and characters were real. They're like live action characters in the game. So that looked good. And any other horror games that, again, like just if I think I would enjoy it, I'll download it and play it on the channel. And it all depends on what's available on the PlayStation Premium service, I guess, whenever we get it back. Another big one is they remastered Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, which was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 1. I remember being stuck at a certain point and not being able to get past it. That's like what my brain remembers. Maybe I did, maybe I beat the game, I don't remember. The last thing I remember is being stuck in this like loop or something that I could not get past to save my life and never beating it, but I loved the game. So that got remastered in December, or the remaster came out in December. That's another thing I'm really hoping to purchase and download and try, and of course bring to the channel. And I don't know how to describe that game. It's kind of horror, but it's also it's third person, it's got its action, it's supernatural, all that kind of stuff. So that's all fun. So that's another game I'm really looking forward to playing, I guess again. They have Legacy of Kain Blood Omen on the premium subscription service. maybe I'll get to those. I think those came after Soul Reaver. I'll have to look up if they're even connected. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Excuse me. But I'm a YouTuber. So that's something to look forward to. And just to repeat myself, if another game comes along that I think looks fun, I'll just get it and play it. Speaking of things that I just get and play, MAW is about to be on the channel for a year next month. That kind of feels nonchalant for the people that watch MAW. You know we're going to do something for a 1-year anniversary. I'm not going to go too much into it, but we'll do something for the 1-year anniversary. I thought about trying to get some clips together of like MAW's best moments out of its first year, but MAW is getting really fun. For those of you who don't know, I'm just going to kind of barely go into it. When I used to do MAW, like years and years ago, and even up till right before I brought it on the channel, I would never do any storylines necessarily. It'd just be whoever wins, and then I'd be like, oh, this person won a lot. They can be a number 1 contender. I didn't want it to be scripted. Then I started to script some things. I'm sure you'll notice during matches, someone will hit their finish, and there's like a weird glitch in the production, I guess. And it's because here come the secrets. If you don't want to know secrets, maybe fast forward until I'm talking about something else. But I'll see them hit a finish, and I'll be like, damn, I really don't want so-and-so to kick out. A really good example is when I put Rip Rivera, a newcomer for MAW, hasn't wrestled a whole lot, hasn't even been in the company for a full year yet, against Okada, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and he kicked out of Okada's finisher. I didn't like that. I'm still working on making the AI go the way I want it to, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I never knew how to do that. I just kind of threw people in the ring and saw what happened. But sometimes I'll get a little nervous. Someone hit a big finish, and I'll be like, that should be the end of the match. And if they kick out, as Rich Johnson, I just go, oh, wow, whatever. But in my head, I'm like, should have ended the match. What am I doing? So I'm working on that. But it has been fun. It's gotten a lot better. That Fatal 4-Way match where Austin became the number 1 contender, I didn't touch the controller. I didn't do nothing. I just let it be. That was cool. So that was one of those things that kind of naturally happened. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, his rise to face JT last year, by the way, JT is me. His rise to face JT last year was very much scripted. That was the whole point. The match at Wembley didn't go the way I wanted it to. The last woman standing match didn't go the way I wanted it to. Sometimes I get both controllers and try to play the match the way I want it to go. And it just seems like it's better to let the computers do what they do. So I'm trying to get back to that this year. I have a lot of fun ideas. I have an idea for tournaments, for big matches, stuff like that. The Rumble in the Bronx idea just kind of popped in my head. Just trying to do things a little differently than everybody else, specifically WWE. But we'll see about that. Excuse me. As far as anything else outside of gaming, I don't have anything on top of my head. Of course, I did the Monday Night Raw review last week. I thought about doing one this week because of Penta's debut, which ruled. If you know, you know. Other than his theme music, I could do a 4-hour video on why Def Rebel sucks, but I'm not gonna. But Raw was really good again. I watched Dynamite last night, and it was fine. I told my wife that wrestling was gonna be really good this year. Or this year. It is, but I meant this week, so I asked to watch Raw, Dynamite, SmackDown, and Collision. And while Excalibur, I think it was, said that last night's Dynamite was a pay-per-view on TNT and Max, it was just Dynamite. And there's nothing wrong with it being just Dynamite, but just because there was a Casino Gauntlet, Kenny Omega, and a world title match doesn't necessarily mean it's a pay-per-view. Pay-per-view level, although I'm not here to do a Dynamite review. The point is, I don't know how often we do wrestling reviews. I do want to get back into them. Excuse me. But it's very, very hard with my job. Like, for example, I worked earlier this week, and it was a short job, nothing too crazy. I was home at a decent time, and then I was off again until tomorrow. And then I could be off for another couple of days. So it's just like, you know, tomorrow's Friday. SmackDown's on. Will I get home in time to watch SmackDown? And if I am, great. But if I'm not, then how am I supposed to do a wrestling review? And I know a lot of you are like, oh, you could record it, or you could watch it on YouTube. I could watch, like, the highlights. And usually the highlights are the important part. but I just don't want to do that. I like to experience the entire show. And with SmackDown and Raw and Dynamite and everything, not SmackDown so much unless you live out of the States, which, of course, I live in the States. Like, Raw is on Netflix, and it has just straight ads. Dynamite's on Max, straight ads. I think SmackDown on USA, SmackDown on Fox used to have picture-in-picture from time to time. I don't know if it does on USA. I haven't watched SmackDown Live in a while. I just watched recaps. And then Collision, I'm watching this week for the 12-man tag in the Texas Death Match. Maybe I'll review Collision and see what happens. Because there's YouTubers out there that watch, you know, all of it. They watch Raw, then they watch NXT, then they watch Dynamite, then they watch TNA, they watch SmackDown, then they watch Collision, and then they watch the pay-per-views over the weekend, or they have to pick and choose depending on what's what. I will do more PLEs and pay-per-views when I can. PLEs are much easier because I don't pay for a Peacock subscription. It's my brother's, and him and I, you know, we share it. He watches The Office, and I watch all the PLEs and whatever else I decide. But the point is, with PLEs, with like Saturday Night's Main Event, and which isn't really a PLE, it's on cable television, but stuff like that and stuff like the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania most likely, and Elimination Chamber. I almost forgot about Elimination Chamber. I'll probably do reviews for those, the bigger shows, but with my job, especially when by the time WrestleMania comes around mid-April, I'm going to probably be very, very busy, so it's going to be interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to do it like I did last year, where I was able to review both nights. I'm saying a lot because I hate it when I do that, but I'm trying to word this right. I think I was able to watch on Saturday and then review it on Sunday, and then watch on Sunday and review it on Monday. And that worked out well enough for me. I thought that was fine. As far as AEW shows go, remember, I'm a fan of all wrestling, so just because I talked about WWE for a couple minutes doesn't mean I'm not watching AEW. Their pay-per-views, pay-per-view. The first word is so important. Pay. I don't think their special live events are going to be on Max, at least not right away. I think you still have to pay for it. As far as I know, I'll look it up after this and be completely wrong probably. But Revolution's their next one. That's not until March, so that's a little bit of time to maybe be ready for it at least. And I just stuttered all over myself. That's just going to be a lot harder because it is like $49.99 plus tax. So it's like $53 to watch 11 or 12 matches over like 6 hours. I mean, I'm almost exaggerating. Like a lot of times AEW has 10 to 12 matches over a 5 or more hour show. And while that is good for some, it also gets really exhausting. Like, especially when you get towards the end of the show, the last 2 or 3 matches, and you're just like exhausted from all that. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. I do. I'd rather they had the schedule that we're all used to, just because we're all used to it, and it makes the most sense. 3 to 4 hours max. Excuse me. Fill it up with 3 to 5 matches. Give all those matches plenty of time. You know, I think that works out the best. As far as other reviews go, because, you know, I've reviewed movies in the past. I did a brief review of Linkin Park's new album last year. We'll see. You know, we'll see. They announced the Switch 2 today. My reaction to that was... It's not that I'm not excited. I never owned a Switch. The most Nintendo thing I have is what I have right now, which is a Wii U, with the Wii U pad and everything. The Switch 2 looks cool, but I wasn't planning on doing what I've seen other channels do. One of the channels I follow did a live reaction to the reveal of the Switch 2, and like I watched a less than 3-minute video on Facebook about it. So, you know, it's stuff like that I don't see myself reacting to as much. But, you know, those reviews did okay, the reviews of movies and stuff. As far as movies this year, again, it's just something we'll have to talk about. It's only January, but I know that this October, I want to do a lot more horror stuff, horror games, Halloween-themed videos, maybe reviewing horror movies, like old ones, new ones. And I was going to do a series of videos that were going to be like little clips of me getting murdered all the time. We were even going to do one on the night of the full moon, and I just never got around to it. I did the one at the end of some review I did outside, and it just didn't catch on like I wanted it to. I was pretty busy in October. So I guess that's it. I don't really have any other plans. I may go on vacation this year to Illinois to visit my family. Maybe I'll do a vlog during that if we even go. There's some concerts we want to go to. Again, maybe vlogs here and there. Nothing too crazy. I'll probably do live streams for like my birthday in May. I was talking about doing a live stream for 420. 420 is when WrestleMania Night 2 is, so we'll see about that. But I really appreciate you all. I could do my usual thank you everybody so much for watching. But I just want to say I appreciate all of you. The couple of you that watch pretty much all of my videos. Austin, my brother, I shout you out almost every time I do a channel update because you're the person that watches all of my videos. Whether you actually watch them or you just throw them on the TV so I get the view, I appreciate it. And to everybody who's been watching all of my stuff, just thank you so much. I cannot believe I've been doing this for over a year now. We're in the second year of JT Channel. And as you heard, I've been babbling for 20 minutes. I have plans, lots of plans for this year. Things are going to just keep getting better. I will say one more thing before I go. The only other thing that I totally forgot about, I thought about this last year, never got around to it. I might do a live MAW. If the people who watch MAW would be interested in that. Like, it's a live stream, and you guys would watch me put the matches together. Which it's not hard to understand if you have 2K. You know how you do it. But I thought it'd be cool if you guys could just, watch me. Because sometimes I just come up with matches off the top of my head. I'm like, I got to put on a women's match. I'm going to put this and this together. And that sounds dumb. Like, if I was an actual booker, that sounds horrible. But usually I have a plan in place. So, a live MAW someday. Maybe we'll do something like that. But that's it for now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep an eye on the channel for all the stuff coming up, whether it's more Balatro, more No Man's Sky. We'll eventually get to Doom Eternal. Any other games that I feel like I'm going to play. And, yeah, that's it. So until next time, this is JT Channel. I am JT, and I'll see you on the next one.